Well, I'm in my working spot, so this is upstairs.
Oh, okay.
But there is a sink. There is a sink. Yeah.
Sorry, Frederica.
Yeah.
We just have to say that we came to the decision that we would not be able to be there for the big shebang.
Okay. Fine. No problem.
Have some big, what do you say, responsibilities of funds-wise coming up, and so we thought we just can't do it now.
Okay, no problem. I mean, I'm sure we'll have some time in the coming year that we can see if you can come over and combine stuff. That would be great.
There'll be another time.
Exactly. Okay. I'm going to turn my video off for a second because I'm taping my face in there too, which is not I'm not supposed to do that. I just want you guys. Okay, so I can always turn it on later on, but let's just do this.
All right.
Okay. I would like to ask you, when did you meet Anita and how? How did that go? Could you tell me about that?
Oh, gracious, that had to be in 1968, soon after I started teaching at ACST, and Martin was one of my 4th grade students, and Frederica was in the 5th grade, and lively, wonderful Anita, very soon after the school year started the wonderful friendship that has gone on for so long. That's when it began.
44 years.
I was the 4th grade homeroom teacher, and then had responsibility for all of the social studies that first year.
Wow, 44 years.
I beg your pardon?
44 years.
44 years. And I can remember Kurt coming home and speaking about this darling Dutch boy in his little shorts and his sandals in his 4th grade classroom.
The 4th grade homeroom was certainly a little UN with a lot of different nationalities represented, and it was just the whole school reflected that, and it was certainly a sharp change from the marvelous, though very different, 3 years of teaching 6th grade in the Cleveland Public Schools system.
So, Marty, you had a special sort of working situation there with Anita at the school. Could you tell us about that?
Well, I was just going to say that it wasn't too long before Anita and I got together and began planning a play. The first one was a musical, The Emperor's New Clothes, and Anita certainly led the way on this. She, never had any doubts, never any qualms about how this would all work out. Even when our king wasn't, the emperor wasn't learning his part, and no problem, we put in a new one who did learn his part very quickly. Anyway, she borrowed equipment from white fathers because her connections were endless, and she invited us to the Dutch play that she was producing for all of the Dutch community of Tunisia, not just Tunis, to celebrate the Queen's birthday. And in addition, there was going to be a Dutch naval ship in port, so all of the soldiers were invited to see this. And Anita had even made an English translation for us, so we wouldn't miss any of this marvelous the stages of this murder mystery, which I think, Frederica, you may recall, was called The Hand of Fatma.
Yes, exactly. Right? Yes.
Yes, with your hand falling limp out of the back of a car.
Exactly.
And the photographs, there was movies of all the scenes that took place not in someone's living room or something, and she would send the film to Amsterdam to be developed, and then send it back, And I think the last one, there was a little hitch, but it did get there in time. So her creative imagination knew no bounds.
I have to say, Frederica, that the Liskes are just really indebted to Anita and to all the Simones for the 44 plus years that that spans really, that touches 3 continents and spans 3 generations of Liskas and Simones. And the love and the friendship and the marvelous gatherings during all of that time just highlighted so much of our growing up years with our young family. And truly amazing grace. And one other thing, we have to really say that one of those marvelous gatherings took place out in Seattle when the Egners and the Liskas joined Martin and his family and Anita there in Seattle for another big reunion, and part of that reunion included a restaurant gathering. And as a teacher, I just have to mention this because part of the plan that neither Terry nor I were aware of, Anita had come all the way across the Atlantic from Holland with 2 of Martin's 7th grade report cards. And she very nicely and cleverly wove into the marvelous time we were having as extended families around this table, a teacher-parent conference. And I will leave the rest to Martin and Anita to share the joyous time of laughter and tears of joy that we had just doing that whole conference. And it really captures for us Anita's spontaneity and her joie de vivre, and her joy for life and great times. And on top of all of that, she could do it in multiple languages. And we are always in awe of that, not to mention the multiple languages that all of you speak.
Well, I wanted to say that Anita Dingemans Simons, you inspire us to live vigorously, care and thought and great joy. And I also need to say that a most treasured memory was the time when you welcomed all 3 of us so warmly to Amsterdam soon after Taylor died. And we were on our way to Tunisia when Heather was returning to the land of her birth, of which, of course, she had no memory. And then you have visited us in the U.S. and in the Midwest, not even on either of our chic coasts, but right here in old Ohio.
Of course.
It really calls for a rousing mabruk from all of us to Anita for this great celebration of 80 years and thus 80, and we hope many, many, many more.
And we raise our metaphorical glasses of the good wine, and we toast you on your 80th, friendship and love and deep gratitude for what you and your family represent for us.
Thank you. That was excellent. I didn't have to ask you anything.